against obstacles. And you have to combat those obstacles in order to move forward. It's almost like...
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. The fans are filling the seats out in Boston, the site of our broadcast, and where the Celtics will be going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Well, for Atlanta, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. The Hawks under coach Mike Budenholzer became such a model of offensive efficiency last season. What about Budenholzer's system, Kenny, works so well?
Well, the funny thing about it, I ran into Budenholzer last night at a restaurant, and we were talking about that. The pick and roll that they use just has 2 or 3 different variations. That's why it's really successful. It's hard to scout and hard to defend that guy. And thanks for dinner, Coach.
Yeah, what did he have? What did you have, and what did he have?
Well, after he said he was paying for dinner, I put a couple extra things on my plate.
And what were those?
A couple of desserts.
And
I don't believe this guy. Anyway, Mike Budenholzer, the son of Greg Popovich, he's a great coach. Not only do they have plays, they have counter plays for everything that a defense might throw, and he's just getting it done. Hopefully they can go a little further this year.
Did you and Coach Bud go to the drive-thru, or did you walk inside?
No, we did not go through a drive-thru. And shout out to assistant coach Darvin Ham as well.
Let's send it down to Kevin Harlan
Name
as
dropper.
we get set for tip-off.
Such a name dropper.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. This Boston crowd ready to roar in this Eastern Conference matchup for the Celtics. And it's the Hawks to start out. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Teague and Korver are the guards. Paul Millsap out there with Horford, and it's Splitter in at the 5 down low. Boston took a lot of steps forward last season with their coach Brad Stevens. Still, though, their defense was near the middle of the road. That will need some tweaking.
Yeah, and you could say that seemed to be the limiting factor, Kevin, in how far they eventually went. Strange given how several years ago they were an offensive juggernaut.
Now we'll go to DB, who had a chance to talk with head coach Brad Stevens. Doris?
We talked about the keys to this game, and he singled out Paul Millsap as a player they've simply got to be mindful of. Coach told me he's always been an energy guy, someone you have to locate and box out every possession. But he's developed his offensive game to the point where he's more than just a hustle guy. He's also a scoring threat now, and a guy we can't leave open. They'll be watching him, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from three-point range.
Teague dishes to Horford. Korver kicks to Teague. Millsap a screen. Back to Korver. Just 5 on the clock. Atlanta again missing.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
Dives for it. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Now the feed to Horford. Back to Teague. Splitter sets a screen. Teague kicks to Korver. Dishes it to Teague. 6 on the shot clock. They get it again. Splitter uses the glass to finish the layup.
And getting after it on the offensive glass and adding to that early total with the putback.
The Celtics have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Evan Turner. Splitter sets a screen. Korver gets a wide open look, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Bradley, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Here's Teague. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Kicks to Horford. And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And for Tiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So that's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
Isaiah Thomas is checked in for Boston. And that one falls for Horford.
You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, will bust the gut to carry out their responsibilities on the floor, off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
It's tipped. And here we go. Fast break. Korver's got it. He dishes it to Splitter. Teague with a clean look. His three-pointers off the mark.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
No one near Turner as he lets it go. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Turner's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Now Teague. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Over to the left wing. Splitter sets a screen. Here's Millsap. That one wide left. Boston's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. The dish now to Zeller. Here's Turner. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
Check out these handles. That's rush hour handle. Not midday, not early morning. That's rush hour handle. That nasty spin just froze the defender.
Here we go, Boston. Now coming on the court are your Celtics dancers. Give it up.
Group in for the Celtics. Olenek is checked in for Tyler Zeller. Jared Sullinger comes in for Lee. Yarebko's checked in for Evan Turner. And Jake Crowder's subbed in for Bradley. And then for Atlanta, Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Splitter. Hardaway comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Teague. Now here's Schroeder. From 11 feet away, and he hits the jumper for 2. Horford's got 5. The Hawks offense was a thing of beauty at times to watch last year. They really came together. They epitomized that term team so well.
You hit it right on the head. I mean, they knew how to find the open man. The ball always ended up in the right spot, and so many of their shots came from assists, second in the league in that category.
For Atlanta, they've gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Schroeder passes to Horford. There's a screen. Pass to Schroeder, beyond the arc, and he gets the bucket.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
Here's Thomas, following the three by Atlanta. He feeds it to Olynyk. That's good, and it's Thomas picking up the assist. Olynyk's got 5.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Now here's Hardaway. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Now here's Schroeder. Not a lot of room. Shot clock at 5. Baseline J on the way. And again, it's Atlanta. No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get a hold of it.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
Crowder kicks to Thomas. They get it again. Yarebko, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. Celtics lead by 1. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very successful tenure with the Butler Bulldogs. He talked about the challenge of making that decision.
The only hard part of that decision is leaving a place that you really loved for 13 years. I couldn't have left without knowing that it was a place that we were going to stay together and really commit to a process together. And I was sold on that, and I continue to be sold on it.
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks Boston is stockpiling.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question, but I do know he's feeling real good about his decision. I mean, taking the Celtics to the playoffs in just his second season, I mean, I think he's one of the bright coaching stars in the NBA today. It was the NBA's gain and college basketball's loss when he moved on to the Celtics.
Well said. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Boston.
They've definitely had a hot hand from 3-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. Teague and Korver are the guards. Splitter is out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3, the small forward.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw, good. Teague. Well, you just watched Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer, Clark. He's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out, and the game is slowing down for him.
Tyler Zeller's checked in for Boston. Avery Bradley comes in for Isaiah Thomas. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that. I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender. And I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor.
Now here's Crowder. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Picked by Zeller. Releases. And that one comes up a bit short.
And speaking of Jeff Teague's defense, I mean, his rebounding, I think, could also be a little higher. I mean, with his bounce, he can get in there and grab a few more. And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Here's Smart after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Now here's Smart. Feeds it to Zeller. Boston, no good that time either.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Teague kicks to Millsap. Hawks passing it around. Now the pass to Teague. There's a good screen. Millsap a screen to the middle, up off the screen, and he bangs it home with one hand.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
So it's Atlanta now, following the bucket by the Celtics. Lots of room. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 4 assists now tonight. Celtics trail by 5. Zeller setting the pick for Smart. He kicks it to Bradley. Fires it up. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Well, last year for the Celtics, they weren't exactly world beaters at home. Still good enough, though, to get the job done.
Yeah, just a game over 500 here in Boston. Not great, but at least it was over 500 for a young up-and-coming team.
Boston's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Pass to Crowder. Lets a floater go. Millsap grabs the miss.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Korver with it, now guarded by Bradley. Teague drives in. Soft touch off the glass. Teague's got 6.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
Now here's Bradley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Passes it to Johnson. The Celtics need to get a shot off from deep. Boston, no good that time either.
And just because you can make it from outside doesn't mean you need to live there.
Not that far out anyway, Greg. I mean, he can work for a better shot than that.
Here's Bazemore. Offensive rebound. Splitter, that's good. Splitter's got his 3rd basket of the night.
They have got to box out better than that. That putback's just another example of what a difference there's been between these two teams. And he clearly doesn't like what's going on out there right now.
Would you? I mean, how could he like what's happening? Really had to take a time out there and try to figure out a way to derail their momentum.
Out on the floor for the Celtics. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Al Horford is checked in for Millsap. Cephalosha comes in for Kent Bazemore. Tim Hardaway Jr. is checked in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. The feed to Jerebko. Dishes to Thomas. Outside Turner. To end the drought. Atlanta with the rebound. What a season for Al Horford last year. Such a great display from him and his team as he led the Hawks to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
And for all the team accomplishments the Hawks had, Horford was able to hit some of his own milestones as well. Had his first career triple-double last season.
Now here's Turner. He has 5. Lee sets a screen for Thomas. Kicks to Sullinger. Rebounded by Cephalosha.
Horford was really a cog in all aspects of the Hawks last season. I mean, a major cog. Just a consistent presence inside with his 15 points and 7 boards a game.
Splitter misses.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's your Repko. Down low, here's Sullinger. Here's Lee. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The Celtics shooting their first free throws of the evening.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. And both free throws good for Lee. We've got 22 seconds left in the second quarter. And here's Schroeder. He dishes it to Horford. 1 second left. And that concludes the first half. The Hawks on top, ending the second quarter on a 14-4 run. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. Some good action during the period, as it was just a 1-point game at the end of one. They showed their superiority in the second quarter and got well out in front, taking a 9-point lead into the locker room at the half. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to their lead.
Kenny, how'd you think the Celtics were playing?
Well, right now, they're getting a little embarrassed on the defensive end. They got outshot in the first half. But that's because no one put their foot down on defense to stop it. So in the second half, they need to play much more disruptive defensively. They have to do whatever it takes.
And that's going to do it for now, as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Without question, Jeff Teague displaying his skills today.
And really, all of a sudden, he's becoming their best distributor, doing a great job of orchestrating their offense.
Greg, typically that's not the role he usually plays, and I'm not sure how comfortable he is in it, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and he's been able to do it to his credit.
Celtics trail by 9. Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. David Lee is out there with Tyler Zeller, and it's Smart in at the point. That's the Boston 5. Lee dishes to Zeller. Smart kicks to Zeller. 6 to shoot. Zeller, a screen on Splitter. Here's Bradley. The shot is off, and Atlanta will go the other way with it.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backboard has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part, and I'm not talking about leaving college.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
Millsap can't get it to go. Boston's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Turner passes to Lee. Shoots from the elbow. And the jumper is good. And it's 7 points for Evan Turner.
And that's what you like to see right there. A solid move to give himself some room and take it inside.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. He was intent on running their offense through Turner. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks again, Doris. Now, here's Teague. He has 6. Outside Millsap. Korver kicks to Horford. The 19-foot shot. The Hawks again can't hit. Celtics trail by 10. Smart with the ball. Picked up by Teague. Smart dishes to Zeller. Bradley, no one around him. From outside, off the mark.
He's really lacking in confidence out there. 0 field goals made so far in this game. Boy, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Just 5 to shoot. Horford kicks to Millsap. 3-pointer. Rebound by Lee. Lee's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Still a bit chilly from the field at the start of this 3rd quarter. 1 of 4 so far.
It's pretty obvious, I thought, Greg, that Budenholzer was the deserved Coach of the Year. I mean, Steve Kerr, there are a lot of good names you could put in there. But what he's done taking the Hawks to the top of the East, a few saw that coming.
I agree with you. I mean, he has transformed this Hawks team over the past couple of years, has a wonderful team game. And, you know, obviously a lot of influence coming from Pop when he was with San Antonio, but he is really, I think, redefining how the game of basketball is being played at the pro level.
Now, here's Bradley, following the miss by Al Horford. We're taking a look at Avery Bradley. His career's been kind of up and down, Greg. Started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
And he makes the first.
You know, with Avery Bradley, he was the 19th pick in the draft for the Celtics. The outlook for him was great, but then ball handling and shooting injury concerns flattened out his development. He had a hard time getting over the hump for a few years, but he's over it now.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Tyler Zeller. Johnson comes in for David Lee. And Jake Crowder's subbed in for Evan Turner.
And, you know, getting back to Avery Bradley, he's been dynamite the last 2 years. He's finally found consistency with the mid-range jumper and plays a complete game of basketball. With just a little more seasoning, I really feel like the sky's the limit.
Now here is Horford. He has 5. Here's Millsap. Again, Millsap missing. Celtics trail by 6. Smart with the ball. Now defended by Korver. The dish now to Crowder. Pass to Smart. The 3. Atlanta with the rebound. Here's Korver, and the foul on Marcus Smart. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Sullinger's checked in for Johnson. Urebko comes in for Avery Bradley. And Thomas subbed in for Marcus Smart. Now here's Schroeder. He's guarded by Thomas. Schroeder passes to Horford. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
And Al Horford is just a winner, guys. I mean, win 2 NCAA titles at his time playing for Florida. His teammates call him the Godfather because of how calm and quiet he is in terms of his leadership and the mentoring he provides. It's been the same here in the NBA.
Now here's Thomas. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Crowder. They get it back. Here's Olynyk. Here's Crowder. Cans it from downtown.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
So it's the Hawks now, following the three-pointer by Boston. And it's Schroeder missing. Celtics trail by 6. 1:15 left in the third. They set the pick in the corner. Crowder with it. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And the idea of setting the screen on that play was right, but just poor execution.
Yeah, it just can't be a hard screen at all costs. There is a legality to how you set a screen, so you've got to be inside of both lines, legal and hard.
The Hawks making a switch here. Hardaway's checked in. Now here's Schroeder to the inside. Cephalosha takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
Olynyk inside, working on Horford. And the basket by Olynyk.
Really nice dime dropping there. Playmaking ability is exactly what you get from Isaiah Thomas.
In the corner, Horford with it. 34 seconds left in the third quarter. Fires from 14. Rebounded by Urebko. Celtics trail by 6. He feeds it to Thomas. There's a good screen. The pass to Urebko. Outside Thomas. Rebound Atlanta. Horford's got 4 rebounds in this game. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. The Hawks on top. They lead by 6. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And Atlanta has possession. They've held a 12-point lead early. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court right now for the Hawks, Teague and Korver are the guards. Horford is out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Splitter in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Turner. And a miss there on the triple.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Hardaway with it. He's picked up by Lee. Korver, no luck. Celtics trail by 6. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Here's Lee. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. 6 points for David Lee. The Hawks shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. Outside Teague. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. And that one's good. And the Hawks lead by 6.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Teague against Thomas. Shot from 12. Jeff Teague with the rebound. Atlanta leading by 6. Outside Hardaway. Splitter kicks to Korver. Buries it from three-point range. Celtics have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter.
Here we go, Boston. Now coming up on the court are your Celtics dancers. Give it up.
Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, guys. Well, Brad Stevens had some advice for the team over that last break. He told his guys, I know we can do this, fellas. Let's maximize every possession and get after it. And just watch. Things will go our way. Kevin?
Boston making a switch here. Bradley's checked in. And the Hawks making a change here as well. Bazemore's checked in. And Turner kicks to Smart. Turner dishes to Smart. Soft touch off the glass.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Feeds to Splitter. The Hawks working the ball around. Teague, the pass to Splitter. Back to Teague. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on Smart.
Really giving them fits. They just can't find an answer for Teague. He's got 8 points and 5 assists. Passing and free throws, those are 2 areas where you love to get production.
And I like the fact that he's been a positive player all day. Hasn't had a lot of errors in the game.
Free throw good, Teague. Last season, Atlanta showed just how much fun a team can have playing team basketball, a complete team effort. We use that word a lot. You don't see it much in the NBA, but boy, they epitomized it, Clark.
Yeah, they sure did. Refreshing to see a team do that well collectively without a real superstar. Just a solid group that understood their roles and played them perfectly.
And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
And folks, it's not like the Hawks didn't have talent. I mean, they did have 4 All-Stars last year. None of them voted in, however.
Now here's Zeller, down low. Here's Smart. And it's Jeff Teague with the rebound. Atlanta leading by 9. And Bazemore kicks to Teague. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Splitter sets a screen. 5 to shoot. Teague kicks to Horford. Lets it go. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 6 assists here tonight.
You know, what shows you just how team-oriented the Hawks were last season was this stat. They never had anybody score more than 30 points for them in a game all season. Millsap had 30 points once early in the year, and that was the high mark for the team.
Now here's Lee. Here's Bradley. Boston again missing. Here's Korver. Good D by Lee.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Bradley against Korver. Bradley drives in. Atlanta with the rebound.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball, share the sugar.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Boston called for the foul.
At the line for the Celtics, Thiago Splitter taking 2 shots.
First one falls for him. The Boston Celtics figured to be near the bottom of the league last year. In many ways, they outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process.
Paul Millsap is checked in for Kent Bazemore. And Splitter drops them both.
And with the Celtics being a surprise threat near the end of last season, even their losses were close games.
Now here's Bradley. He kicks it to Smart from past the arc. Rebounded by the Hawks. Splitter's got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
To back up your point about the Celtics being in close games, I mean, their point differential on the year was less than where you would expect it to be for a team that made the playoffs. I mean, it really gives you an idea of how many close games they played.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now here's Lee. And Zeller kicks to Turner. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting. And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Hawks.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Shot quality and better overall shooting.
And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Splitter. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
And here is Turner after Kyle Korver hitting the 3 to end the run. And yes, sir, that one drops.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take them long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
To the middle. Pass to Horford. The shot, no good. And it's Boston the other way. Smart with the ball. Passes to Zeller. Picked by Lee. And Zeller kicks to Lee. Here's Bradley. And again, Boston with the triple.
And they're on the kind of run that could have made a difference had it just started a little earlier.
Yeah, but I think the only reason they're on this run is because the defense has relaxed a little bit, knowing the game is basically in the bag.
Outside Teague. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Paul, congratulations on this win. It seemed like this game was getting away from you at points. What does the team take away from this game in terms of experience?
We got to do a better job executing down the stretch. As simple as that. Just glad we got this win. We just can't let these things happen in the future.
An escape from some mistakes, Paul. Well done, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Tiago Splitter.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Well, he certainly pulled his weight in the rebound department. His energy and his positioning were fantastic. Forget about everything else he did. His work on the glass alone had a big impact tonight.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.